All right, welcome to Hive Scum.
Yours sounds great.
This might sound so bad. Oh, yeah, baby.
All right, well, we're recording.
That's epic. Are we?
Yep.
You're really loud.
Yep.
I gotta cut that.
Should I just stop it and do it again?
No.
I can always cut it off in the beginning.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, gamers? Welcome to Hive Scum, the grim and gritty podcast for the 28 community.
Let's go, Steve.
Bless
That was
you.
sick.
Guys, bless you, Phil.
Did you hear me
Sorry.
sneezing? Yes. God damn it.
That's okay.
Perfect.
That's
was
it. One
perfect.
take. One take, baby.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Good.
Anyways, Gage, who are you?
Hey, I'm Gage at No Clear Coat.
Hey, I'm Steve at South of Heaven.
Who the fuck cares who I am?
I do.
I'm Phil at Blood Transfusion.
And I'm Terry at Stone.jaw.
And
This
Terry,
is at Hive Scum podcast.
that's
Yeah.
true. At Hive Scum Podcast on Instagram. We'll post something maybe.
One day.
We'll see.
Terry and I have switched seats.
Yes, we have.
So Terry did the point around the table to introduce everyone.
Yes.
It felt weird.
Gage is being trained on how to use the, and he's drinking my
I almost drank your
crap.
highlight.
Gage
I'm
is
trying to
breaking
drink
my
Coke
beverage
Zero.
over there. Gage is training. He's
Why are
in
you training Gage?
Get
Get out of the way now.
yeah, well, I might be not on the episode in like a couple of weeks. Not
We
because
fired Terry.
I
Terry got fired.
Yeah,
There's
he
no
put in his 2
compensation.
weeks.
No, I have a daughter on the way. Just so you guys know. Just so you guys know. So you know what? May take a few episodes off, and I'm sure that some of the New England War Council will fill in where my seat is.
They will.
And, you know, we haven't talked about this, but I'm sure that they would be happy to. And there are so many more talented people than I am that will fill in my
That's
seat.
not true.
Listen,
We wouldn't be
Listen,
here.
they're not Terry.
Have you seen
Yeah.
fucking Tyler shit?
Yeah, I've seen his shit.
It's pretty good.
It's great.
I would.
I'm not equating skill to persona.
Wow.
Wait,
So
are
you
we-
think I'm a cooler guy than Tyler?
Well, just remember,
Yeah.
Tyler
Wow.
is all right at painting.
Yeah, that's true. He is just all right at
At
painting.
Tyler is all right at
Yeah.
painting. That's not
Yeah.
his handle.
So, anyways, yeah. So I might be taking a couple of episodes off. Gage is going to be taking over for me on the 1s and 2s here,
And the 3s and 4s.
and the 3s and 4s as well. And
Why
so
do they say 1s and 2s?
I think it's
1,
The-
2, 3, 4.
the
No.
turntables. The turntables, right?
I don't know.
Turntables will turn, buddy.
Yeah, the tables keep on turning,
All right, this is
and the
Crazy
fires
energy
keep on
right now.
burning, or
Listen,
something.
I haven't
like
had a
that.
Coke Zero yet, and I'm having problems. So
Yeah,
Steve,
his
I
eyes.
have a
are-
proposition for you live on air.
what is that?
Oh.
If you go and buy a Coke Zero Tallboy after the episode, you can have the one in the mini fridge.
I'm
Ooh,
I'm
that's
gonna
a pretty good.
I'm gonna go get a big case of them. It's
Look
my
at
it's
that.
my
All
turn
right,
to.
well, wait.
I'm just
I
going
have
to
to
go
wait.
crack that one right in front of you and
Wow.
deal with it.
I'll kill myself.
Wow.
Live on air.
Well,
Steve.
edited.
Yeah. Wow, Steve. Wow, Steve. Now I got to bleep that out.
You should actually bleep it out so everyone has to wonder what I said.
Yeah, I will. And you should have that Coke and steal it before Gage does. and
I
then-
will beat myself. I'm pretty sure it's going to be.
That could be a couple things.
Yeah. Yes. It could be a couple of things.
So, what have you been working on?
Who are you asking me?
Yeah,
Me?
you. I'm looking at you.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
so
go. Give it to me. Give it to me raw. Put it in my ear.
I don't know. I've been painting a lot. I finished my Secret Santa,
Yep.
which it will go out and hopefully be delivered before this, so I can kind of spoil it. It's a cool guy with a sweet like stick arm kind of coming out, like a branch arm from the Dryads, and it's covered in blood and gore.
Used a Melusé head that I
Yeah.
thought worked perfectly.
Yeah, it worked really well. The body is from some other game, and the body's not great. And I wish I had used a different one, but I think I covered it enough with like a fabric to make it not noticeable because it was so skinny and tiny in that one little area that I was like, oh, this is impossible to make look proportionate. I think I hit it enough. There's a lot of blood everywhere because my prompt was savage, barbaric, necro butchery. And so I was just like, well, I got to go as over the top as I can because this person is definitely trying to be over the top.
Do you
That's a lot
know?
of
Do you know
words.
who it is?
I not off the top of my head, but their address isn't there, so I know their name, but I don't know who they are as far as.
Do you want me to spoil it?
Yeah, I mean, they should
This
get it.
will for sure be out before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I did the random pairings.
Yep.
Per usual. Like I said before, I only had to fix a couple. Steve and Paul got each other.
I would have gladly had Paul.
Cody and and Joe got each other. And I was like,
you gotta
well, this
switch
is kind of funny. Yeah. And then only one person got someone that didn't want to pay for out of country. I had to ship them.
Okay.
But ironically enough, I didn't switch yours, and you got cryptacrylic.
no shit. No way.
That makes sense.
No
That was, like,
way.
the whole start of this whole fucking thing, he had you.
God, dude, but the pressure's kind of on. Cryptacrylic is such a damn good painter.
I was laughing because I was like, well, he's going to see the address and just know.
Yeah, well, I should have figured it because I saw the address.
And then I
but
thought
should've
Necro
known.
Butchery was going to give it away.
Oh my goodness! Now it kind of does. Now it all makes sense. I just
giggling,
breezed
sending-
through the address.
I thought for sure when I sent you the same message I sent everyone,
Yep.
you were going to be like, oh, it's Chris. But
I didn't even. I just saw the address and
Nah,
moved
Terry's
on,
real
kind of.
stupid.
I am. Yeah, I mean,
beat him up on his last episode ever.
Yeah. No, but I am really excited. But now I'm like, shoot, did I paint it enough?
Did you already send it out?
No.
I'm going to go crack the box open and fix some things.
Highlight it a little bit more, make it look. No, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'll stuff the envelope full of, or stuff the package full of some cool stuff for him too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got to pay him back for the freaking smell bomb he sent me last year.
Oh, that's true.
I got him
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
and we've talked about this on the podcast. And he sent like a D&D scent thing that was so fucking strong.
Wait, there was a smell thing in there.
It was
Yeah.
like a packet of smell beads.
Oh,
And I got it, and I
should
opened it
get-
up, and it smelled so bad that like my whole studio smelled for like a week, and then my garage, because it was sitting in the trash, smelled for like a month.
You should get one of those fart bombs and tape the two sides to the box so when he opens it, it's just
Yes. Perfect. I will
he made you
rig-
think it was like a bug guy.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I thought.
digital
totally.
kit
Yeah,
bash,
digitally
like,
kit bash
yeah.
bug thing guy.
And that was like our first episode. Honestly, it was our first episode. We were talking about
Was
how
it?
good Chris Acrylic's
Yeah. Wow.
his paint job was, and how I appreciated that there was enough gloss and matte in both. Like, there was a variety of gloss and matte, and I had never thought about that before. Now I do it on everything, and the one I'm sending him has a good combination of
There you
gloss and
go.
matte. So now it all comes full circle. Also, similar paint color schemes. His was like very purpley, very bluish, with red in there. I think he used like Blood for the Blood God as well. So it's kind of fun. That it's kind of neat. So, anyways, I finished that up, blasted through most of my Rohirrim that I have for now. Started making some new Rohirrim.
For what was the name of your warband again?
The Iron Henge. Henge. Yeah,
I
Henge.
think it's just the Iron Henge.
Iron Henge Riders, yeah.
There you go.
And so they're kind of, and I've been just like, developing lore in my head about how they're sort of the outcasts. Like, they're kind of off the beaten path as far as the Rohan Empire goes. But because of that, they get like the outcasts. And so, and they're
The C-listers?
Yes, they're very much like the bench warmers.
They know how to ride a horse.
Yeah, but like they have a wide variety of like different people that like are
Right, right.
and different armor types and different things. Like maybe certain things are passed down, and maybe certain things are just like they may not have the same armor as the rest of the Rohan Empire. And so it's kind of a fun little project to now use like Perry Minis or like War Games Atlantic models to like kit bash my own little Rohan guys. And so that will be fun. My last thing I've been working on is I made that Grot Rough Rider, the Gretchen Rough Rider guy on the horse with the gun.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it in the morning. I was sipping my coffee and I was like, dude, that would be so cool. Like if I can take the head off a Hobgrot and then put it on the body of, I think they were like the Confederate soldiers or whatever on horseback. So I glued that head on. It fit pretty well. And then I gave him like a sick AdMech gun in one hand and then put some pipes on the horse. And I'm like, dude, I really want this to be like a unit of 5 and use the rules for like war bikers or use the rules for even like the Rough Riders from IG, and take those rules and just be like, now I have a squad of 5 Grot Rough Riders.
Hey,
That's your Gorka Morka list.
Right? Oh, dude, that would be cool. And use them like instead of bike rules, it's like I have the Rough Riders riding through.
Jet powered horses.
Right?
not sure. Before we get into what they've been up to, while you're away, do you have any hobby projects that you're going to try and squeak out?
I think this
You know.
falls into our category
Yeah.
for today.
Yeah, once we get there,
Okay, well,
once we get to
spoilers.
the category,
Spoilers.
I'll talk a little bit more about it. But the one thing that's not hobby related necessarily is I do love to draw, and it's been a while since I've drawn things. And when I first got really into drawing, probably about 5 years ago, I got into it because I created like a little box of drawing material that was right next to my couch. So when my wife was watching TV or whatever, I would just pull the box out and then like work on a drawing. And
Right.
so I kind of, while I'll probably be in the same room as my daughter for a while when I'm home. And any downtime, it would be really nice to be able to pull something directly out and then continue to work on it. And then if
Yeah.
I need to handle something or like I
Throw it to the
I can
side.
just be like, okay, this
Yeah.
goes to the side, and I can keep going. And I was also thinking of our good friend, your diaper buddy Dave.
Diaper
How
Dave?
He paints on his bed. He's got a bed painting.
Sadistic.
Diaper Dave cannot be a term that sticks.
It would be unfortunate, and I don't think Dave would appreciate it if he was just called Diaper Dave from now on. Yeah, no, we can't do that. Especially Dave is the best dude ever, and but he paints in his bed.
Yeah.
He
You
has
nowhere else to paint.
a bed painting setup, so I might do something like that.
Hey,
And I
Yeah, you
told-
get like a TV tray.
yeah, and you just kind of pull it up like you got breakfast in bed.
a bunch of grots on horses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Sarah was just like, "You can't do that." I was like, "Just watch me."
Agrax or shade stains all over the bed.
I'm just gonna prime out this window real quick.
Just leaning out of the window, still in bed.
Just throwing a blanket over the baby's head while you spray.
It'll be all right. Yeah. No, so we'll see. But dude, I can't turn this shit off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was talking to Sarah about this, and it's like it doesn't stop. It will like fester and bubble to the surface in one way or another. If you don't let me like output creatively, I will just start building forts out of the books next to my bed. I like, you can't stop it, and so I have to figure out some way to channel it, and I will.
Sweet.
Yeah, long answer to that question, but
No,
yeah.
hey, that's what I wanted. This is a podcast, you know?
Oh yeah, we do. We're filling time.
Yeah, we're filling, you know? Just
Just
punching the
Phil,
clock.
Phil,
Punching
what have
the
you
clock.
been doing?
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice one,
Steve, the champion.
So
of
last week
transitions.
we had like a 2 out of a 10 segue.
Yeah.
That was
That was pretty
be
good.
like a 4 or a 5 out of 10.
yeah.
What, you didn't like the head in the box? Speaking of heads and boxes, what you working on, Bill?
I did forget about that one. Same old shit, you know.
One day at a
basic-
time.
one
good
leaf
fat
at a time.
When has the answer ever been anything other than Beastman?
Hey,
Good question.
all right.
However, right? Aren't you doing something else besides Beastman?
you got Jerry's Deli.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did buy a bunch of that crap. Yeah, I bought a bunch of the flesh eater stuff. I haven't really done it. I've built some stuff, but I'm not even thinking about painting any of it until after my board is built. I'm a very like one track mind, so I really only like to do one project at a time.
You're getting to rip that today.
Right now, no.
Is Ian coming?
No. Ian, I don't think Ian's
okay.
not coming today, but I should be able to get cracking before the end of the year. And then that's really the only thing I'm going to be working on. I'm almost done basing my backlog of painted guys, and then after that, I'm taking a pause, working strictly on the board.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I am definitely going to have to go out on a hunt for materials, specifically wood, organic-looking wood. I'm just going to have to go for
I feel
a
like
fucking
there's a wood shop down the street. You could probably get a
a
bunch
wood
of
shop.
like a bunch of live edge.
Oh, really? I was
Shit,
thinking of
yeah.
just going in the woods,
Getting some sticks.
Oh,
getting sticks. Yeah,
Sticks rock.
getting sticks.
New England trees are known for looking like lustria.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, no, I think it'd be more about how it's is decorated, because I'm just like, I don't know how much of the heavy lifting like moss and shit will do, or if I will have to get like plastic aquarium plants or something,
yeah.
that
I
sort
mean,
of
that'd be
shit, or
cool,
if that, I feel like that stuff might look kind of bad.
No,
I
once
feel
you
like-
paint it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just because of how stupid and plastic
like
it
bright,
looks
yeah.
until you paint it.
Like, you know those little twig pieces that Mike puts on a lot of his stuff?
Dude,
That mixed with the terrarium stuff would look awesome.
I feel like he has a secret grotto where he pulls those from because
yeah,
I
probably
could.
his yard.
I don't know, man. I could never find anything that looks like those. Even
does.
even Tyler pulls. I mean, they're friends, so but Tyler has stuff like that too, where the twigs are so perfectly placed.
Yeah, you got a twig collection. You're walking around outside, you just grab a twig when you find it.
Twiggy.
Twiggy. Going outside though, that's the scary part.
Yeah, outside is scary.
It's a scary world
There's
out there.
animals out there like little squirrels chomping at you.
Yeah.
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 That's all I got though.
You've been rocking it
I think
crushing
I'll
it.
be done basing
by
maybe
2025.
No. Well, no, I mean the current batch of stuff that I'm basing, I might be done this week.
Nice.
That's about it.
Dude, the bases look great.
Good,
I know
thank
I've
you.
already said it, but they look awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it really is also starting to pull everything you have together because you played yesterday against Dakota.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah, I
just
was
died
feeling
above us.
playing yesterday. I was like seeing so much unpainted stuff on the table is definitely just like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's definitely kind of a bummer. It was nice though. I had the Zangors that I lovingly put so much work into went, and they were definitely one of the all stars of the game
good.
too. So
Listen, you could have an army like Dakota's though, not painted at all.
Yeah,
that's true. Not assembled either.
Yeah,
Yeah, just playing with
Just moving
spurs.
around with bases. Yeah.
absolutely disgusting. Dakota, if you hear this, paint your damn
Yeah.
models.
He started. He was painting a little
he
bit
was painting
yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh, good,
Yeah, we
good,
believe
good, good,
Good.
good.
I'm eating your Cheetos though, Dakota.
That's fine. I paid for him. He didn't pay me back.
Let's
You
go,
little bastard.
gamers.
Speaking of gamers, Steve, what have you been working on?
Oh, he is a gamer. Nice transition.
Oh, you like that? That was like a 4.
I've been
Okay.
I've been working on my Mordheim board. Finally,
Yeah.
it's almost all the 3D prints are done, and so I'm laying down some brickwork. Going to do the MS terrain method.
One brick at a time.
One
Little
brick at a
piece
time.
Of, piece of cork.
Yep.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
That's
Nice.
right. And I've been painting lizard men.
Doing your trick, right?
What trick? Oh yeah, the
painting?
priming.
Yeah.
Just
Doom and apathy trick.
oh yeah, it's nice. Nice.
What
and
colors
easy.
have you been using?
Like this rusty orange and this teal color, and then I
Yeah.
have this like really flat camo green that
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
doing
yeah,
on like
yeah.
the big guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That kind of ties into what we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been painting some lizard men.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about
They
it.
look great.
Oh, actually, I do have one more thing. I put together some of the Visterian cult, and I've been like writing
Let's
lore
go.
for them. But that's it.
Stoked for that.
Speaking of
Colts.
cults, Gage, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
Oh man, I started this new cult. No,
New
I
cult.
yeah,
the
check it
last
out,
one
dude.
didn't really work
you
out
know,
that well.
You know, I have, typical Gage fashion, started 40 things at once. I got my Secret Santa in. I'm not going to dox them, but they wrote a very nice note saying
Oh, yeah,
thank
they
you
did.
so much for being part of the community. This community, it's because of members like you that make this community so great.
Yeah, it is true.
And the irony of it being my server, I was like, this is the best thing ever. So I'm
Yeah.
going to actually send them stuff back just because it was such a nice note. But they made my words were zealot, cultist, fanatic.
Oh,
I think
nice.
just like kind of all very specific, but not at the same time. And he ended up making this crazy. I don't know where the base metal model's from, but he sculpted like a cultist hood on top.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like not.
It's like a redemptionist hood almost.
Kind of, but if it like laid flat like a Santa or like Link hat,
It's cool.
Yeah, and then made like this, I don't know, like a staff with a head in a box on the thing. And I'm like, man, this is perfect scale. This is now a member of my Vistarian cult. Let's go. So I made a servitor for it. I made, I used actually a redemptionist the day after Adam was talking about it when you and I were on Dragon and Turbo Lasers. But so that's halfway there. I want to get it ready for Nemo. Randomly started bashing some Trench Pilgrim and Krieg guys together.
Nice.
I don't know why. It has nothing to do with anything I need to do, but
No,
you
but
know,
listen, that's sometimes the best way to come up with ideas.
it's there. So I just started doing it.
And then they might fit in elsewhere.
Right. I just want to paint them blue. I was like, I just want blue. I don't use blue for anything.
Yeah.
So we'll just use blue. And then I was kind of torn between making my second board either the Swiss Alps, like I was talking about, or I randomly wanted to make Tristram.
What's that?
Diablo.
All Diablos, really, but
okay.
the Old Town in Diablo.
No, yeah, I don't know. I
It
never played
originally
Diablo
cracked
1,
open,
it's-
and then Diablo comes out.
it. Who's Diablo?
Okay,
Oh, come on.
All right. Anyway, so I ended up going with the Swiss Alps board.
Yeah, I like the Swiss Alps idea.
I just wanted a really tall board that is like kind of mountainous.
Yeah.
But you don't actually have to fight. It's not going to be like one has to start at the top and one has to start at the bottom. You start on the sides and then climb.
Yeah.
Or not, whatever. It's going to have multiple layers. So, but I really wanted to try Anna's technique of the tree tutorial she posted.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
So use, I think it's asparagus fern is the specific plant name, but you soak it in glycerin, and it replaces all the moisture in the plants so they don't rot.
Yeah. So as the days go by, it doesn't fall apart.
Yeah, that's a reference I'm sure you're making that I definitely didn't get.
Our crew will.
Okay, so, but it's funny because I was all hyped. I'm like, yeah, I really want a heavy forested board. And then I come in and Steve and Paul are literally talking about how trees are awful in wargaming.
No. Well, I fucking love them. I think you were saying they're too like expensive or hard to make, or what were you saying?
They're expensive to buy
Yeah.
because you need a lot of them when you buy them.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're kind of a pain in the ass to make unless you're just getting like tree branches.
I
and
think
sticking
nothing
them
to me
the
looks
base.
cooler on the table than trees.
Yeah, I think they're like a piece that really sells.
That was
the
a bummer
board.
of a battlefield to play on for me yesterday.
We're looking at 5 houses on a flat board.
Yeah.
Or flat mat,
on a
sorry.
mat,
yeah, neoprene mat.
Yeah, it looks like a Wild West board or something.
That looks like a competitive wargaming board.
Yeah,
which
I mean,
is
honestly,
also
yeah.
depressing.
Yes,
Yeah,
totally. Honestly, like going to Adepticon and seeing the board set up that like people are supposed to play on, I'm like, dude, there's 3 pieces of terrain in it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just a play mat.
But then you
Like,
go to the
this is
narrative
silly.
side, and it's just like,
Yeah,
A dude
Sick as hell.
set up an entire room as a space Hulk.
yeah, yes,
yeah.
like 2 8-foot tables full.
It's
Of
the boy Nate Dungeon doing some shit.
yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's so funny.
Cinematic wargaming.
You got to keep it cinematic.
Damn, I didn't even check. Is he doing anything at Adepticon this year?
Oh, I don't know.
I want to get in on whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I bet you it's sick.
That guy, like meeting him at the end of Adepticon last year was like,
It made staying on Sunday worth it.
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, we're just dead tired just hanging out in the lobby. But I was like, damn, I wish I knew of your existence 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I would have loved to get involved in whatever you have.
No, I wonder if there's going to be other shit happening that's not part of the Grimdark hallway that is like adjacent to this, because it just feels like we had Johnny's, and
Yep.
I think he was like kind of the only thing happening that year that was like off the beaten path. Then we had ours last year with Mordheim and all that craziness, and then this year again with Grimdark hallway. However, it's like in the past, I'm reading through that Christoph Kiel book, which I know I talk it to death, but there's a whole part in there where he's talking about like the year right before COVID, they had the whole, like there was a whole Inquisition thing that was happening there.
Right.
And I think somebody from the Iron Sleet was running something, or supposed to run something too, that was Inc. 28 based. And it all seems to be centered around Adepticon and people going to Adepticon or events like it. But I just wonder if something's happening that like we're not privy to. But I imagine we would
That
know,
would actually be, yeah, I
but maybe not.
without sounding too egotistical here, I feel like we would be in the know of it.
I mean, somebody
But-
would have been like, "These guys are also going to be there
Right.
running something." I'm not always privy to what like the Iron Sleet people are doing.
That I think it
There's
would
also-
be sick to find out
What is that?
a second Grimdark hallway. You know what I mean? Like they've been doing cool shit.
Yeah,
There's also
Other
so many
side,
freaks not on Discord and
Yes,
not on
yeah.
Instagram.
that's what I mean. Yeah,
Like,
and this is like a whole other side to this kind of grimdarkness. Is that I don't know, like. We have no real contact with any of the Iron Sleet guys. Are they were like the ex Profundus, I think, before, and then that blog went to become Iron Sleet. Spiky Rat Pack, though, like that person went on to be, maybe that was directly Iron Sleet, something like that. It's like all these blogs, these like
Gotcha.
old blog guys.
Inc. 28 events are like in waves. Like I think Terry talked about it. I don't even know if it was on the air or not, but
Yeah.
of like waves of black metal.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
like they were like OG first wave.
Okay.
yeah, or it's like they were, it's something like that.
Yeah.
John Blanche was OG first.
Okay, listen.
That's what I mean. It's like it kind of all starts from like the Celtic Frost, John Blanche. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it goes down from there.
That's a crazy.
Well, I don't know. I was just
that
kind
was
of
a really good reference.
right? I don't know. It's something like that. You know what? I was also was reading somebody's, just like going back in their Instagram history and then like reading old comments that they were getting or old comments that they were putting on their photos. And I don't want to
lurking people.
Well, yes, definitely. And I don't want to say it because it's my choice for who to gush over, and we'll get to that eventually. Okay. Maybe not. Now that I'm realizing
you're
it.
fired.
Oops.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were talking about like, oh, I wanted to paint this up like the old ammo bunker blanchistu days, and I was like, what the fuck is the ammo bunker?
Yeah.
And then people were leaving comments being like, I missed the ammo bunker. Man, I wish that was still a thing. And so I was trying to find it. I'm sure that like through the Wayback Machine you could find it. But from what I understand in my totally ignorant, understanding of it is just like it was a forum that a lot of people would post their grimdark models to for like probably 10 years because he was saying mid 2010s. So they probably posted it all through the 2010s and then the
all
server,
Angel Fire-esque looking forums.
Yeah, like the server probably just like it doesn't exist anymore. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure people listening to this will probably be like, I know exactly what they're talking about.
I hope so, man. That's the coolest part about this.
But keep in mind, we don't know everything.
Yeah.
Found something.
And I just want to say, too, that like I am literally just kind of like talking. I'm pretty new onto the scene. And so it's like there's a lot of stuff that happened before that were like the building blocks of where we are.
Oh, yeah.
That I am not 100% privy to and like slowly finding out about like the history of
we're third or fourth
Grimdark.
wave.
Yeah.
We know
if
that.
not further. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
a lot of weird little groups that have happened.
absolutely.
And I really love like historically finding out about these like, oh, what was this whole scene like? There was a group of people that were all posting their shit on this forum or like, oh, take a look at this blog. And this blog ran from here to here and influenced so much of the way people paint now.
Dude, the impact that like social media has had on different little things like this is so crazy. Think about stuff in like sort of like Web 1.0.
Yeah.
So Ammo Bunker was a blog. I'm fine. Ink28.wordpress.com is where I'm finding this.
Oh, okay.
And it's coming from the post is Inkvitational News. So I guess they did an
Was it with Y?
Inkvitational. What?
Okay, no. I'm not talking about the same thing then. Never mind.
No.
Okay. There we go. See, there's something there.
Yeah, and then he's talking about the Ammo Bunker was the site that Steve and I chose to post me. They're talking about me.
Yeah, sure.
On our Ink 28 projects to begin with. A warm and welcoming community, Ammo Bunker has recently become a firm partner with the Ink 28 project with the creation of a new subforum on the board devoted entirely to Inquisition in its various forms. You can see that subforum here, and then there's a link. So it was, I guess, just a community
I love stuff
chat
like this,
room.
We need to
I love,
find
like-
survivors of the ammo bunker.
That's what I mean. Like historical, like just not even necessarily like this is like ancient history shit, but anything that has like any subculture that has history, my brain loves that kind of stuff.
Right.
I love, like I don't know, like even like hardcore stuff and talking about metal and all that. It's like looking back and seeing what things influenced what other things and seeing the reflection of this and this and like, oh, how this person wouldn't be doing this thing if not for this blog that existed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It is also directly it says like they refer to Daka and like a couple other websites that are like still going today. He actually talks about I was going to do a Dan Abnett interview and I do want to do it, but I'm trying to convince him to do it. This is very cool.
Off of what you're saying about how pockets will influence other pockets.
Sorry, I'm like,
No, you're good.
Steve handed me this article that's just Ammo Bash 2011, and it was the Ammo Bunker Ammo Bash held at Warhammer World in Nottingham.
It's pretty sick.
And like just of these random guys standing outside twiddling my thumbs, Old Guard, Andy, and LD, Steve, showed up. I helped them carry their stuff and many, many boxes up to the gaming hall. It's just like, dude, how many iterations of people doing exactly what we're doing has happened just throughout the history of Grimdark,
The
and
natural
freaking
progression of,
Blanchistu
like,
and all that stuff.
Human brain into the hobby or adjacent hobby activities.
Yeah, not to get too deep into the whole thing, but man, do I love digging deep and finding out new things like this.
So, but based off of what you were saying about how like people will influence certain hobby or pockets of the hobby and will influence things, is exactly what my gush segment is about.
Ooh.
Wow.
You know,
Love
Now
the gush
there's a
segment.
segment.
that's
Or segue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, we don't have like an intro for the gush
No.
section.
We're gonna gush.
It's a
gushy,
fresh
gushy, gush, gush.
I need you to
wet
clip
gushy
this
gush.
and now use it every single time we do this.
Gush, gush, gush. We're gushing.
It's a wet, gushy gush.
All right, I don't want to do this
God,
anymore.
it's so gross. But Gush is a new segment on the podcast.
My last episode ever, if that ever happens again.
And it's a new segment where we pick one person in the miniature community to gush over. Who are we picking this week? It's Phil. Phil.
Oh my God! Another reason we're firing you.
I don't remember your guys' names.
Oh my
gushing
God.
about
I'm
me?
Gage
Oh.
at No Clear Coat.
We're talking about Gage at No Clear Coat's choice for this week.
My pick is a lovely chap.
A lad,
A
some might
lad,
say.
some would say.
lad?
An absolute unit of a person in the hobby, in real life. Steve and I had the pleasure of hanging out with him. I didn't even know about it until that day. I don't know if he was even set up, but Apocrypha Now,
Yeah, baby.
our sweet baby boy Ben,
A powerhouse.
a powerhouse,
A unit for sure, but a powerhouse as
legend.
well.
Yes.
Yes.
I honestly feel, and this could be, what, like you said, could be my being semi-new to the hobby and the whole Instagram side of it. But I think a lot of these, I don't want to say influencer, that's the wrong word.
Yeah, come on. We got to get rid of that
Personalities.
Yeah, kind of like I really feel
Guy
like,
who has Instagram with a bunch
Yeah.
of followers and makes stuff.
No,
These
that's not where I'm
folks.
going with this. What I'm saying is, I feel like he is one of the original Instagram hype mans on
Yes.
what he is working on how to like guerrilla advertising of what he's doing, giving you constant updates on what he's
Sharing
doing.
his passion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no secrets behind what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
all about the hobby. He's all about getting people involved, the community itself. And it's true. When we were talking to him in person, he gave us the original Yellow Cube book.
He did.
His first printing.
Yeah.
It was all
test
over
print.
Instagram. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
anyone in this hobby followed on Instagram, you saw the Yellow Cube. You
Yes.
saw the
Yep.
the
The hype.
wave, the hype. Yeah, I mean, so my gush is definitely all about Ben.
Can we change the word?
What?
I don't like the word.
Come
Gush.
on, we're gushing.
Like,
We're
not
You
like-
didn't like, you didn't like gushers?
Yeah,
I like gushers.
is it like a moist thing? People
Yeah.
don't like the word moist.
Yeah, moist doesn't really bother me. I don't know why
Gush
gush
does.
does.
I don't think
Good
there's
magic
any
card,
words
though.
that bother me.
No words bother you?
Yeah, I think it's crazy when people are
I know a
upset
word
by
that
words.
bothers you.
Say it.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Doing your taxes.
Doing your
Doing your
taxes.
Hey, dude, did I tell you that I got a thing back from the state? Apparently, I didn't file my state taxes this year.
Oh my god.
Oh.
We got one
I-
of those as well.
I
but
don't know how that's possible.
We got the return for it,
So they made a mistake.
they made a mistake. But anyway, regardless of tax evasion, maybe Ben has committed it.
Yeah. Good segue.
Yeah, sure. We're trying here.
Yellow cube.
Yellow
Sick.
Cube, sick. Tonks, sick.
Very sick.
Tonks Fest. Anything Tonks related?
I got to make a tonk.
I love the idea of Tonks Fest.
I got a Knucklebones Tonk somewhere. I'm
What
looking at it.
scale
Looking at
are you
pictures of
playing
people's
Tonk?
tonks, and they are hilarious.
It's
Yeah.
silly.
They're
When you
wild.
say pictures of people's tongs, that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I don't know
pictures.
why.
I got a picture of Tonks right here for you, pal.
Hey, I'm tonking here.
Honkin' tonkin'.
Hey, you want
Honk if
to
you're
look at each
tonking.
other's tonks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a tonkin', I'm a honkin'.
What scale Tonk would you make?
There we go.
Like full
Whatever-
scale model, like World War II tank?
No,
Whatever you want.
I like the little
don't know.
Hot Wheel size.
You like the Hot Wheel?
64, like 164.
Yeah. Well, then
tonk
you can use it
size.
in any game.
Yeah. It's just like it's cuter. It's smaller. I like it.
I mean, that's the beauty of the game. You can be in whatever the hell
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
Fishing 28. We talked about this
Yeah.
on like episode 2, I think.
Yep.
We were talking about making a hack for it. We're like fighting fish or something. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
The shark gets you.
Yeah.
I think that's actually part of the game.
Sharks and Minnows 28.
There you go. And then, honestly, he is the first person that I ever saw really lean into turnip.
And that's what I wanted to talk about mostly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, and then that whole crew, his extended crew as
Yeah.
well, Owl Shield, Mangling Minis,
And-
all of them are fucking perfect people.
They're the
Everyone
candidates.
is hyped on what each other's doing. It
And
feels
that's-
so.
yeah. Dude.
I'm stealing your point.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no. So this is perfect.
It feels so kind of like at home.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
seeing how they interact with each other,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, well, this is exactly how we get hyped on shit.
Yeah, they're the England crew. We're the New England crew.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
shit.
New England, motherfucker.
We gotta,
But it's the same
We gotta
thing.
be under one roof now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so you guys
The
got to
old and
move
the
over
new.
here.
Okay,
Just so
I
you
was
know.
gonna say maybe a fest would happen over
No,
there.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
They can move here.
No, but it's like they're all hyping up. He's posting stuff for Necropolis 28.
Yep.
He's posting stuff for everybody's game that comes up or whatever anybody else is interested in. He's posting.
hyping up.
And they're posting his stuff.
Yep.
You know, it's great.
We had a group chat for a little bit until the 40,000 group chat era just got too much for I think
Yep.
everyone. Hyping up everything Hill Giant's doing.
Yeah.
Hyping up everything we're doing.
Yep.
Just being stoked, being like, new episode came out, awesome. And I'm just like, I didn't even know you listened. Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Like you said, he just, no matter what, he's hyped on the community itself. And
Yes.
I think that is so important, but also
Yeah.
why I wanted to shout him out in an extended segment of
Yeah.
gushing. Steve.
Yeah. And you were talking about Turnip, and
Yes.
I love how ride or die he is for Turnip.
Yes.
And he's just constantly having so much fun. And you know what? I love Turnip. I love the concept of Turnip. I am tired. Not tired. I'm a little bit done with beaky helmets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, and you know what? It's like, oh, I feel like I can't make a Turnip army unless I put a beaky helmet on it.
Yeah,
but
same.
Ben does so many of his are just like Perry minis.
Yeah.
And they're painted like gross and grimy, and I'm like,
Right. Right.
great. Now I'm back in on Turnip. I'm
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in. Like I'm into it now because I can then turn all of my Rohan guys into Turnip guys or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Like I can make kind of a gritty and grim kind of disgusting little warband that doesn't have beaky helmets.
Right.
Not that I mind the beaky helmets, and I appreciate you if you like the beaky helmets. However, I don't know. I just,
Max is handwriting his hate letter to you right now.
I could feel it. I could feel it.
I love the beaky.
I know, and a lot of
They're
people
sick.
do it, so I don't want to like talk shit. I'm not saying that
Listen,
it's bad.
it's condensed to Turnip.
Yeah.
Like where else are you seeing beaky
And
helmets?
totally.
I can think of one game with beakies.
What?
Not anymore. They got rid of those.
Horus Heresy.
They do have a lot of
Yeah.
beaks.
Horse hair. Well, that's that. That's that era.
Yeah. But I mean, also, he's got new things coming out.
Focus on Turnip. That's I wrote it down.
I didn't even
'cause
see you
was
had a
like,
little note there.
Yeah,
What else
well.
can I steal off this?
probably more stuff. You would probably not
Sniff it.
understand some of my things because I was like, ooh, I should actually write this out so I understand them. But Turnip is one of them.
Turnip
and
is one of them.
He's gotten me back in on it. And I'm like, okay.
Bangarang, the game with
Yes.
bill making stuff.
Oh, so cool.
You know what I mean? It's like, how could you continue this legacy of Tonks being sweeping the internet? Oh,
Yeah.
Bangarang. Okay, great.
Yeah. One of the things I did write down here is bravery. I'm like, dude, this guy is so brave. Like,
Yeah.
it takes a lot to come up with a concept and then to make it happen. Steve's really good at this. Like coming up with an idea. You shut up, Steven. Coming up with an idea and being like, this is a good idea, and immediately acting on it and getting it done. And you can tell that that's how Ben's brain works too. He does it in a really wonderful way where it all comes together and it's like
love this
polished and nice. However, it's like you can almost see the idea happen on Ben's Instagram and see him then be like, let's get this done,
Yeah.
and like start going towards it. And that it takes
He
a certain amount of
literally
bravery.
posted in his story, I had an idea to do this. And
Yep.
And then does
3
it.
weeks later, you'll see, all right, here it is. Here you go.
Exactly, and that takes it takes courage to act on our ideas and to be brave enough to know that we have the wherewithal to get that idea finished.
Listen, he dove in front of a bullet for me. That's how brave he is.
Wow,
Yeah.
is that true?
Yeah.
In Nottingham?
Yeah. Nottingham.
Nottingham,
Oh,
you
sorry.
fucking.
Uncultured.
I know, I'm fired. I get it.
I get it.
That's why you're on your way out.
Last episode ever.
I get it. Nottingham.
I did kind of coerce him into talking about what he's working on next. Just to sneak. I didn't tell him I was going to, profess my love for him like this, but he does have a rank and flank coming out with
Nice.
Hill Giant.
Ooh,
Nice. That'll be
coming
cool.
soon.
you're allowed to say
I'm
that.
allowed to say that. And
Wow.
Tonks 2.
Tonks 2.
The sequel.
Bigger, better.
He said we could name it right now.
Really?
I
No,
definitely
he did
didn't
not.
just make this up.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're naming it right now. Tonks 2.
We're naming it Tonks 2. What was the name
of
of...
Hive Scum?
Oh.
Uh,
What was the
Tonkalypse.
name of the tank game for N64?
Tank. Which one?
The one you and your mom used to play that I used to play too, and I can't remember the
Tank's
name of it.
Armageddon.
Oh, let's call it Tonks Armageddon.
Yeah.
Or about Furball's Day Out or whatever, Cranker's Day Out.
Conker's
Terry.
Bad
Tonker's
Fur Day.
Day Out. Tonker's
that's
Bad Fur Day.
Yes.
Yeah, Tonker's Bad Fur Day. And it's
Oh
about
my
hairy
God.
tanks. But they're big gorillas and they fight each other.
No.
What? Come on, that's a good idea.
Ben, chime in.
You could have that, Ben. That's a free one for
Oh
you.
my God.
Tonkers.
Honker Tonkers.
Honker Tonk.
Honker Tonkers is a good one, but Honker Tonkers, but it's 18 wheelers.
I was just about to say, yeah, real redneck shit.
Honkin' Tonkin.
Yes, dude. Yeah, some real like rum runner shit. Yeah, some real early NASCAR shit.
Rum Runner 28. Let's
Dude.
go.
Oh, yo,
Buggies
yes.
in the sand
Dude,
dunes.
yes, running away from freaking like yield
The FBI.
yield cops,
ATF.
with bad
Ye
Buick.
old cops.
You know what I mean? Like
No, I know.
ye old.
Oh, I meant buggy like a little like dune buggy.
Yeah,
Not,
but they're
not
running-
like a horse and buggy.
No. I'm still talking about like 80s Buick police cars, but they're chasing down.
You
like,
did like a
Brothers
horse
shit?
galloping.
No,
motion.
yeah, sorry. That was supposed to be them going over the dunes and flying into the air.
I don't even.
Dukes of Hazzard style.
Dukes of Hazzard. Okay.
That's what I'm talking
There we
about.
go. I was like, are we talking like Blues Brother?
Yeah, that's
Ben,
Honk-
you just got so much free ideas.
Yeah, that's honker
There you go.
tonkers.
That's honker tonkers for you.
Yeah, anyways, I won't see that one through. So, Ben, that's on you to do honker tonkers.
All right, you see, the one of you is the rum runners, and the other one's the police officers, and you're trying to get them and putting them in jail. Wow, Ben, that was crazy. I can't believe you flew all the way to America
Yeah,
to tell us
thanks,
that.
thanks so
Yeah.
much, Ben.
Yeah, thanks. And then now he's out the door. See you
Yeah, he's
later.
already gone.
He didn't even
Bye.
say bye. He
Nice
left
seeing
it.
you.
Bye.
That's him walking away. Another thing, though, that I like about Apocrypha now is on Instagram, he posts things that aren't. I'm so used to posting things that are like finished.
Yeah.
Here's my finished project. And he just makes like a daily post of just like, much like we were talking about with MS Drain, like, here's a hobby update. This is what
Right,
I'm doing. I'm
right.
3D printing these weird things. Or I just painted stripes on my turnip balloon. And
Yeah.
just like things like that will pop up and he'll post it. And I'm like, man, maybe I should figure out a way to have that level of interaction
Progress
with interest.
tips.
I'm afraid of Instagram, but maybe I should figure out a way to like have a healthy relationship with it like that, where I'm just posting things
Right.
that aren't.
Which is also crazy because I'm also not to dox him, but he does have a big boy job that he works full time at. So
Yeah.
in addition to everything that he's doing, I'm sure at work, he's doing all of this for the community. So
Yeah. Yeah.
worthy of whatever this segment will
A gush.
Praise.
be
He's
called.
worthy of a gush. We're not calling it the praise segment.
No, I was just saying, instead of saying gush in that
Oh,
moment.
you're praising. Gushing. I'm gushing for him.
I'm gushing for him. Ben, we
about
love
to
you.
gush.
Ben, we do love you. You're the best.
Cheers.
So, since I'm running the show, Terry,
Gulp.
real comic gulp.
Gulp.
Let's get to the main topic of the episode.
Gosh, Gage, what are we talking about?
So I think
you
it was
tell
the end
Oh.
of last episode.
Yes.
I think the topic kind of came up.
Don't save him right now.
Oh, you're asking me.
on. He's on
You're
the spot.
legitimately putting me on the
I'm
spot.
putting you on the spot.
Last episode, I think we were talking about our hobby goals, and somebody named No Clear Coat asked the question
Oh, true,
about what are your hobby goals for the next thing. However, that idea is so god darn big that it kind of deserves its own little episode. And I think I had said it in the episode that was like, I kind of want to wait and actually like think about this for more than 0.2 seconds that it takes you to ask, and then I respond immediately afterwards. And here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are, and we have answers.
Do we? Who
I
wants
do.
to start.
Oh, I shouldn't have said I do.
Let's put Phil on the spot.
Yes.
On my goals.
Now. Yeah.
So I think
Not only goals, but I think we should figure out how to, like you put a goal out there, and maybe we come up with the first step. If you don't know what that first step
I
is.
definitely know that.
Okay.
Well, it's not about the step; it's maintaining course.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I said before, my goal is to, and it's a lofty one, especially for me, is to have this Beastmen collection painted, fully painted.
to Phil's standards.
100.
My standards by the end of
Microbrush
the year.
the whole army.
So for context,
Yes.
I started repainting this army almost or a little bit more than a year ago, and I am probably only about a quarter of the way done.
How many? Do you have full
so this
units?
was not no.
No.
I
Well,
will
the thing is,
say
go ahead.
your progress has increased thousands of % in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
1
the thing,
million.
yeah.
Why
yeah.
is that?
Well, having the space helps. Yeah, it's been a weird year for me, just on a personal level. So, being productive is not, one of my strong suits to begin with. But this year, especially, was definitely not it. But I think things should be better in 2024. So one of the main ways that I stay on course and the way that I will achieve this goal is not get distracted by other games or projects.
Good call.
Clearly, that's something that I don't entertain.
He's
Nothing
no
wrong with
nonsense.
My goal for 2024 is getting Phil involved into other games.
Wow.
Good luck.
He's a foam finger
I like just
G-dub
playing
fan.
Age of Sigmar with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Foam
Or maybe
finger.
Fantasy Battle one day.
I'm fine playing other games. I'm just not. I will not give a second to
Right.
another hobby like modeling project.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's admirable. As
Yes,
much
it
as
is.
we hop around from game to game, I think that definitely is
Well,
helping
yeah,
you.
none of you fucking guys
Yeah.
have anything to show for it. So
That's not
it's-
true.
it's
My-
like-
My Middle Earth
My
squad is
Moria
fucking
guys
painted.
from Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game Battle Companies is
Yeah.
totally
All
painted.
right.
My last War
No,
band,
it's definitely
painted.
true.
okay.
Brothers of Prometheum 40K, painted.
All right.
I don't got shit.
Ogres,
Terry's
not painted.
Terry by metric weight has the most. Terry is the most productive person by a mile,
Yeah.
Well,
more
I
than a
don't know.
mile, by many miles. And then the other thing too is obviously I know I was talking about my board, but I also want to have just a wider variety of terrain just to play with here at the studio.
Trees.
Not just
Yeah,
trees.
we
I
need
want to
more
be able
trees.
to. I want to have different, science fiction environments to play,
Yeah.
different fantasy environments to play with. A desert table, a winter table, and more than just throwing down a mat and some scatter. I
Yeah.
think would be cool. And then the campaign as well is a big thing. I want to get it basically on autopilot. I think a big part of that is going to be having a proper map up, proper mechanics for how a map works, how sort of challenging people works, and then the actual format for the game. Because obviously trying to write like a bespoke scenario for everyone for
Yeah.
every month was a moronic fucking goal. That was so stupid.
No,
I did that for
it's cool.
one
It
month.
was admirable.
I think it was admirable. I think it was a great idea. I just don't think you knew the amount of time that would be involved. I don't think it was moronic because of that. I think it was just a huge
maybe not the
task.
right word.
Listen,
Yeah,
I think it takes a fucking village. Like, I think it's every person playing in the campaign's own responsibility to contribute to the lore and the ongoing.
Yeah, but like I said, I want it
building.
to be on autopilot because I don't want anyone to feel like they have to do work.
Well,
Because getting anyone to roll on
that's that. No.
That
if
puts
you're
the work on
playing,
you.
Yeah, if they're playing in this campaign, they are taking on the role of being included in that.
Yes.
That is their job by joining us in this journey
it's like a
to
D&D
building our
campaign.
game. Like, sorry, you have to write a couple
Yeah.
sentences about the game. You have to write, what happened in your game, maybe a couple lines. Like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
that's too big of a problem for you, like maybe just don't involve yourself in an ongoing
Kick rocks,
campaign.
Yeah, the door's over there, motherfucker.
Yeah, get out of our space.
Then obviously doing a similar thing for other systems too. I think is I think once we have this one figured out, the basic idea can be ported to
Anything.
any game.
Yeah.
No.
And then of course I want to play not even like a hobby goal, but I want to fucking play D&D. I haven't played D&D in a couple of years. I think.
yeah.
I want to be back into a campaign.
Now, not to put
do
you
it.
on the spot, you beautiful boy,
Yeah.
but I feel as if attaining any sort of goal, the first step is always the hardest, and it's also the one that you have to make the smallest because you need like some catalyst to get you going towards your goal.
Yeah.
And if you make it too big, you can't bite it all. And so you need like the tiniest little here most of the time for me that's like I sit down and I plan something.
Yeah.
So like what's what's a good way for you, like a small little bite size that you could kickstart, like let's say the AOS campaign?
Draw a map.
So the map would be step
It's your
one.
first bite of the big cheeseburger. Right
The
there.
thing too is
And then now you know.
so obviously
like-
I could just go right there, spin that around. My fear though is I do that and someone just comes along and erases it.
No one
Well, then-
touches that board.
But this is
No,
like
okay.
this is good problem solving. It's like, okay, so if that's a fear, and if that and it's a realistic fear to be
Literally,
to be
yes.
The
fair.
whiteboard in the studio is what we're referring to, by
So
the way.
Yeah.
instead of maybe your first goal being draw the map, maybe instead the first goal is find the paper in which the map will be drawn.
Well, that's the problem. Is I don't think it should be paper that it's on.
Okay.
Because we want to be
You wanna
interacting with
yes.
the map.
Why not?
Use like
I don't know if this is
The whiteboard
brainstorming
is
time.
perfect. I just don't want someone to be like, well, I fucking need space on the whiteboard for something else. So
Well, that's what the other side's for. But
and the other 7 whiteboards sitting over there right now.
yeah.
have you thought about like drawing your map, like to get an idea of what you want it to look
Yeah,
like
sure.
on your iPad?
Yeah, I can do that.
There's also crazy cartography tools out there for like
Oh, I know.
D&D that you could use.
Yeah, no, I know that. That isn't the problem. The problem is making it so we can interact with the map. Like when we
Yeah.
first started, Steve had that map on there and just wrote a grid. He's like, and it was, and I'm not dragging you down. It was just like, all right, write down the coordinates of the where you are on the map.
Right,
Like
right.
that is absolutely not going to work.
Yeah.
I think you need a physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't fucking look at anything on Google Drive.
I know you don't, and that's what I didn't realize when I was like, "Hey, here's a Google Drive to write down your stuff and interact with." I didn't think
Yeah.
people were just, "Oh, I'm just not going to look at that."
So the first
It's not even not looking. It's not that they wouldn't do it. It's like an extra step that people are like, well, I think having things in a physical space when
Yes.
people are coming here to play and
I agree.
participate,
Yeah.
So,
I
like when
think
we were
that's-
playing at game stores, though, that wasn't like a thing that was possible.
Yeah.
So you're hoping to go directly brain to whiteboard would be your hope.
Yeah.
For step one. Then I
Exactly.
think you just got to do it, man. You got to get that black marker and you got to go brain to board.
Yeah.
Brain to board, nothing like it.
Brain to board.
Yeah, I always think like goals are so unobtainable unless you put your shoes like by the door so you can run in the morning, kind of thing. If I don't do that, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
You know. And so I need the smallest little bite-sized chunk to start me, because then once you get started, then it's like a snowball. You know, you're like, okay, I know what the next step is. And you can continue on. But
Yeah.
man, that first one could trip you up hard, and then it could just be an idea forever. And something that Ben is good at, going back to that. It's like you could see that idea start, and he must have some kind of superpower of like getting over that first hurdle of.
I think he is he's superhuman.
I mean, that could be it too. Maybe he's just like this big tough guy who's got kind of mutant
Wow.
powers or something.
Yeah.
Like a powerful force in this world. He's got some sort of Jedi powers or some shit.
What other powers could he have?
Freaking the power of persuasion.
I just watched speaking of persuasion, I watched the X-Files episode Pusher last night, where you can make people do stuff by telling them.
Oh, dude.
It's fucking
That's
crazy.
a good one.
It was very good.
It's
Steve-
not that
oh.
character reappears in multiple.
He does. He comes back in another one. But in
Yeah.
the first one, he makes Mulder
There's a
play
few-
fucking
yeah.
Russian roulette with him.
And he has
Damn. That's dark.
there's an episode later on with the same guy, the same character, I believe.
He escapes from jail.
The episode's called Kitsunegari,
Yeah.
which means
Yeah.
fox hunt.
Oh, yeah.
I always
'cause
thought
he's
that was
hunting
sick.
fox the whole time. Yeah,
I thought that was sick.
And if you guys don't know what Russian roulette is, it's roulette, but all the spaces are black.
Yep.
Yep.
So you always win.
You always win.
Anyways, any other goals?
No.
I like that. I like the idea of doing the whiteboard first. I think we should honestly today, after recording this, kind of flip it and start it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna draw on paper first because there's a few things, just to get in the nitty gritty, to have the map like sectioned off. Maybe not necessarily in a grid, but just have different, obviously, areas on the map, and maybe different areas would correspond to different mission types.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then depending on, like we were saying, the super factions, like if say like if a death faction controls
Oh,
the
yeah,
map,
yeah.
having a bonus for
Like
death
Risk.
armies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
It's a
I'm
very
thinking of
cool
just
idea.
like
Let's
a.
just play Risk and then hack it for the campaign.
No, straight
Risk
up, dude.
28.
I've never played Risk, so I don't know what the.
Ooh, it's
If you
holds
own
up.
all of North
Yeah.
America, you get a bonus. If you own all of South America, you get a bonus. If you
Yeah.
own Russia, you get the biggest bonus because Russia's fucking huge and there's
Yeah.
a million ways to attack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Okay.
Risk rocks.
Risk rocks. That's the name of the episode. Steve, what are your goals then, buddy? Buddy? Oh, he's got to check his phone. Should we go?
I
to
got a
Gage?
list.
Oh, he's got a list.
Someone get this guy a fucking coat.
Yeah, he's falling asleep.
My first goal is to
Blow up and act like you don't know nobody. Sorry.
yeah.
You ever see the video of him? He goes, "My first goal is to blow up," and then he blows up, and the video ends.
A perfect goal. Steve, you know what we're talking
I
about?
don't know the reference.
Oh,
at
you
all.
really
The
don't?
reference.
It's Riff Raff, and he says, "My
Oh.
main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody." And he's got those sharp
Oh.
teeth.
He's got shark teeth.
I know the
grills,
shark
man.
teeth grill.
Yeah.
I know who Riff Raff is. I have
Yeah.
not seen that video.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
It's okay.
Then that would probably seemed very offensive when I said.
I
that.
just didn't understand what was. I knew there was a reference happening. I just didn't know.
Yeah. Sorry, listeners, if you guys also didn't know what the reference was.
Anyway, I would like to finish my stupid game.
Oh, nice.
I would like to be done with that.
Flames, FOO, Foo.
The Foo Fighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to be.
He said it. He
out,
said it.
out the door.
Yeah. Yes, I would love to see it completed in its final form.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
You're almost there.
It's close.
What's next on the agenda for Foo?
I don't know. I'm like reformatting it right now, just on my own to be. Yeah, I'm reformatting it right now just to like look more like a book, kind of like. I like how it's laid out with items and stuff, and how it's like, oh, it's really easy. It's the word, what it costs, and then what it does. But I think like how other games do it, where it's like a full list with like a full write up of each item, and it like
Yeah.
it just looks cleaner, and then
Yeah.
it's a couple pages instead of one page that's everything dumped on it.
Yeah.
I think it just like looks a little nicer. So I'm reformatting everything, trying to figure out art, trying to figure out how it's going to look when printed. You know what I mean? Like the layout, if it's going to be spiral bound,
Totally. Yeah.
all that stuff. So
Just more and more project management is
yeah,
Chipping it away.
chipping away,
okay.
trying to
It takes a lot.
yeah. Besides that, I have another thing. I have another thing I want to do. Actually, I have two things I want to do. The second thing is, and they kind of tie together. I want to build a list to play across multiple games.
Okay, there we go. Nice.
So whatever game it is,
Yep.
Age of Sigmar, fantasy, one page rule, whatever it is, I want to build one list that can translate across all of them, and then I want to paint the whole list.
yeah.
Like 2,000 points that could go across.
Possibly one list to rule them all.
Correct.
Yes.
And in the darkness,
Okay.
One less to find them.
yeah. Anyway,
And then the
Yeah.
darkness behind them.
so I started chipping away at Lizardmen, just thinking
Okay.
like, this is the army I started with. It'd be kind of cool to like bring it back
Yeah.
full circle and have the stuff I started with. And yeah, so paint a full army and build the list that I think is the most fun.
Yeah.
Not
And-
really my Age of Sigmar stuff or any of the other stuff that I have on the table, but
Yeah, but this will be good, maybe.
I think it'll be fulfilling.
Maybe you should finish your dinner before you have your dessert, though.
No,
He's mixing
Dessert
it
is
up.
so good.
I know.
I like dessert.
Yeah, but then, but there's still a lot of dinner to eat.
You better eat your green beans.
There's still a lot of green beans to be eaten
There
on that
are.
plate.
I mean, I don't. You have a lot already done with
Yeah, yeah.
other projects, though. So it's
My
not,
ogres, I could probably field 75% a painted 2,000 point army.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you should get the other 25% done, though.
Yeah, well,
And then you
but,
could-
but then I'll feel incomplete with, the 2,000 points are done. What about the other 5,000 points that are just sitting around them on the shelf? Like, what, do I just
Yes.
leave those unpainted?
No,
Like,
put them on a different shelf.
I wonder if maybe the solution to this problem is to stop buying miniature
no,
collections.
no.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right.
The percentage
More.
of unpainted models goes up the more models you buy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. It would go down the more you give to other people.
you
But
go.
the more models I paint out of that, the less models I have collected sitting on a shelf that I can look at and think, wow, that
Correct.
would be so fun to paint at
Correct.
one point.
However,
That's
the
true.
quantity of lots bought is growing exponentially.
Yes, yes, quite a.
No.
Yeah.
The line graph is pretty silly looking with
Yeah.
models bought to models painted.
Yeah. When you were good, you were getting there. It was like a nice curve, and then Orcs and Empire came along.
Yeah,
and
but
then
I'm not going to
Unpainted.
build those.
What happened there?
I'm not going to build and paint
Yeah.
those. I'm just going to end up sitting in a box and say, I'll do that one day.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Plenty of people got those boxes out there.
They'll sit in my attic. Just
Yeah.
sitting there. Like a
yeah.
giant Tyranid army.
Yeah. Oh, I know that
You
feeling.
just one day I'll do that.
Yep.
So
Or one day I'll sell it and I'll make some money and then I'll fund another project I
don't know
actually
anything
want to
about
do.
that.
yeah,
I wish I had that brain more often.
sell stuff.
I'm sure Danny would love if I had that
I've
brain more often.
every time that I've done that, I've instantly regretted it within a year.
Yeah.
Within a year, I'm like, that was the worst decision I've ever made in my whole
Dude, I
life.
gave away one hero model like a month ago, and I'm like, damn, I still feel bad about that.
Like it translates to all my hobbies though, like video games, like selling WoW accounts,
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering, selling my legacy collection. Like
Right,
yes.
it's never a good feeling selling something that you're like, I want to use this at some point, but right now it's not useful to me. Rather than put it on a shelf, I sell it and then I have a little bit of money, but it's like
Yeah,
I always end up wishing I had the thing.
as long as your floor joists and don't start bowing under the weight of lead.
There's
then
not
you're
too
okay.
much lead. It's mostly
Keep it in the basement.
Yeah, no,
go.
then it gets mold on it.
Yeah, which is good for texture.
Get a dehumidifier.
I got one. My latest hobby project was I paid someone else to put a sink in my basement so
Yeah.
I could run it all the time. Well, no, don't run your dehumidifier all the time. That is the number one cause of fires in basements.
No
Really?
shit.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck.
I have one in my garage that's running all the time.
How often does it run?
I guess I should probably figure it out because I
That
used to just
statistic
run
of it being the
straight.
number one, it's not true, but it is one of the leading causes.
defect.
No, it's a
Lie.
leading cause
Counterpoint.
of fire.
Okay.
It is
Counterpoint: moisture in the basement is the leading cause of termites.
fair.
Ooh, counter.
Which would you
counterpoint.
rather?
Ding, ding, ding. Firefighters versus pest control.
I would rather termites. They're easier to deal with than fire.
Counterpoint. Yeah, I would love for the termites to die in the fire.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Blue collar 28.
And I do have one more. I do have one more goal because those. I feel like those two, mix of three goals,
Yes.
pretty good. But
Yeah,
we got a
the
year.
Trinity.
We got a year. The third one was something I came across like a week ago while going through my Google Docs and deleting old stuff. And there was an RPG I'd worked on for not an RPG. It was like a supplement for
Okay.
Mothership. Like I had started writing it and I
cool.
ran it. Like
Oh, dude, don't
2
worry.
to
It'll
3
come in
times.
real soon, so it'll be on time.
I know, right? It'll come out right in time.
Yeah, it'll come out real soon.
But Mothership wasn't fun to play it with, so I just did it with a flat D20 system the last time I played it, and it was very fun. But there's a whole setting. There's multiple arcing points and like different ways you can go, and
Oh, cool.
I wrote all this stuff up, and I never did anything with it. And when I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, this is so sick! I should run it again and see how it plays. And if it plays well and it's fun, maybe I'll actually like put it in a tangible, even like a PDF form. Like
Yeah.
you can just download it on drive-through or something."
Could you share with us and then we could like set a date to play around and see?
I mean, last time I played it, I think it took like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not like a.
Because that'd be cool to just be like, you probably know more about game design now than you did back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would probably
Yeah.
immediately be able to fix things that are like bugs in the
But
game.
it's like story. It's not like a game system. It's
Still.
a story. Like
Still, your storytelling is definitely better than it was.
yes, we're building those muscles in our
building.
brains.
The problem was I wrote it initially as like a horror RPG, like a horror themed RPG, and then every time I play it, it's it's a bunch of goofy goobers.
Well, yeah,
having
someone
a
will
silly
like,
shoot him in
time.
the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I use my dildo weapon.
I use
That's
the
pretty
electric
cool.
stapler.
Yeah.
Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Just like a sick,
Yeah.
like
That's actually cool.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Maybe a Tetsuo Iron Man 28, where everyone makes a Tetsuo.
Tetsuo 28, just like a wire beasts fighting each other.
That'd be kind of sick.
It would be kind
Use
of
metallic
freaking
paint, like spray. Just
wrap barbed wire
Yeah.
around a GI Joe.
Hey,
Yeah, there we go.
kinda
Now we're
cool.
talking.
roll it Katamari style in the bits bin with glue.
Yep.
Whatever comes out, that's what you get.
Yeah, Ben, you can have this one too.
Yeah, you can have that one too, Ben.
I want credit
Honky
though.
tonkers though. It's the best one. Yeah, I think you have a good holy trinity,
That's
and
my
they
year.
seem attainable.
I think so. Maybe
Yeah, you got kind of the
as
first
long as you
steps
don't
too.
as long as you don't pile some stuff on me with painting my other armies.
Well, you don't have any like other, there's no big events happening in the next month or in the next 2 months
or
or in
3
the
months.
next 3 months or in the next 6 months happening
Yeah.
that might occupy your time.
No.
So you'll be fine.
Oh yeah. It's,
You'll be.
Are you referring
fine.
to the world's largest Mordheim tournament?
it's not a tournament.
Oh, I forgot about
It's
that.
not a tournament.
Event.
Event?
The event of the year.
Yeah.
It starts in January. That way, the whole year is shit afterwards.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's the gaming event of the year.
Gives all our haters a year to
Yeah.
make a bigger one.
Yeah, hater.
Yeah, haters.
Bill haters.
Haters are my motivators.
Yeah, so true. You got your hater blockers on, but blocking out the haters.
Always.
Just
Yeah.
stacks of money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is hard to work.
Can't
in the
hear you
studio.
on my hater phone.
Anyways, Gage, what are your goals?
Oh my goodness, I have so many, ironically, but I wrote like 12 down. And I was
Alright,
like, this
alright.
this is so on brand for me that it can't be this many. So
Yeah.
It is.
it is, but I brought it down to like 3.
Had a boy. I was gonna say, just
I had
freaking,
to.
you gotta,
Yeah, I had
because
to.
otherwise you get analysis paralysis.
I was like, I'm gonna get yelled at by teacher Terry.
yup.
And I'm not
Put
gonna
a shot collar on you.
Yeah, that's okay. The second you watch me walk away from the paint desk, hit the fucking
Yeah, get back to work.
Yeah, 100 volts to the neck. So, honestly, my main goal, I want to actually publish something. I've kept
Nice.
dancing around the idea
Nice.
of like the Last War campaign, or like
Yep.
I'm going to come out with this campaign book or whatever. I still really want to do the campaign book, but I have to hone in what I actually want to publish.
Yeah.
It went from like an RPG supplement. It went from so many projects that I think my main goal is to figure out what I want to publish, but I actually want it to be put out there. I want to actually,
Yeah.
any of my 12 projects that I started narratively, I want to send out. So there's a couple avenues I want to explore with that. Like I still have rose tinted glasses for one of my favorite D&D campaigns I wrote. And I think it would be cool to kind of, because that is like totally figured out and it's done.
Yeah.
I would like other people to play it. I would
Yeah.
like other people to see it. So I got to figure out how that will work, and that
Yeah.
will probably be my main goal
Yeah.
to release that out. As far as the hobby goes, I really want to get our space dialed. I know it's been kind of
Yes.
chaos since we moved in because of Nemo, and then
I mean, we also can't set up a portion of it.
we're kind of waiting for a mechanical install. So half of our studio's a little weird and wonky right now, but I really want to get it dialed so we can just come in, get to work. Our storage system is working.
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
A little
great.
disorganized.
Right,
You got to hit
so-
those 5 S's.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but
Yeah.
not while Nemo prep is happening.
Yeah, once Nemo is in the rear view, I think that's when
Yeah,
we'll
I think
really,
it'll be a
yeah.
lot easier for that.
this will really become the fucking Foot Clan hideout
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that it is meant to be.
So I think that's like a good goal for me as well to really keep the 5S intact here.
Yeah. I think that's a very attainable one, and I would be very interested in helping you out to get it to that point.
Right. And that's the thing. It will only benefit everyone.
Yeah.
And then once everyone's stoked on it, then it just becomes so much easier for all of us to be in on the same page. And then hobby-wise, it's really like there's a couple armies I would like to finish. I still love the narrative that for our AOS campaign.
Yeah.
I think it's just so fun.
Totally.
So I really want to push that further. I have that new Age of Sigmar box. I've made one model from it.
Not even the individual one that you bought.
Nope, not that one either. I literally built one steel helm. So I want to really dial in where they kind of fit in my narrative with them, and I would like to have it painted. I don't have a full army painted.
Yeah.
So I think those 3 things are separate enough that I won't get burnt out on one or another, but it still kind of leaves space open for if we all of a sudden fall in love with a new game instead of middle of the strategy battle game battle companies, we would have something else that we could take time away from with all these random skirmish games
Yeah.
we've been playing. So that's kind of where I've had to focus in.
Yeah.
There's so much more. I still really want to play like just a punishingly loud like gabber set. I really want to get into that side of music. I really want to play a show. There was supposed to be a band I was going to be in that totally fell apart.
Hey, dude, it was like 2 episodes ago. How did that happen?
I don't know how that fell apart, but it did. So
He's a busy guy.
listen,
I told you.
We're all busy
Yeah.
guys. So yeah, it's just a little sporadic things.
Now, which one do you want most out of all 3 of those?
Out of all 3,
Yeah. And it can't be the space.
okay, so 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I would love to publish something. I would love to actually put something out there. I don't necessarily know if I care enough that like I want it to be done.
Yeah.
But I don't need like people to. I don't know how to say it without sounding like a dickhead, but I don't need people to be like, "Oh, I have this thing now. Cool, you did this." I don't need like the fame of releasing something.
Yeah.
I think I just need like the gratification that I did it and it's out there, and then I can just like.
That's how I feel about Flames.
It's kind of just
I'm
like
fucking over it, and I
Yeah,
just want
yeah.
this thing that I started. It's now in print, and
Yes.
or it's available,
and it's done.
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, I literally want to be Bilbo and close the book and go, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am over it. Like
Seriously.
Yeah, so
And I get that feeling.
I think that would be good for my brain. I think I want the painted army more
Okay.
because it involves more skills that I want to learn.
Yeah.
I've really
It would do that same thing for your brain too.
kind of, yeah. I've gone through like copying many people's painting styles to try and learn different things and try
Yeah.
and go through. And I kind of went through my tour of learning, and now I've kind of fallen back on what I picked up most from them.
Yeah.
And
Which is
I've
great.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed kind of finding my own style. The problem is finding the motivation to do that in mass.
Yes.
And that's where I feel I'm like in line with how Phil has been painting.
yeah.
Problem is when we're here, Phil's still working on the one project, and I'm looking at my desk right now. There's 4 on it. So
There's a few things I find that help, especially with the large army. Is I don't go unit by unit.
Right,
I will
right.
I want to paint a fucking cool looking Minotaur. I will paint one Minotaur.
Yeah.
And I move on from there. I want to paint like a cool shaman character.
right.
You know, I will paint a character.
Yeah,
I
you're
wanna
not
move on.
tormented
I
by
want to
the
do a
project as a
monster.
whole.
Yeah, I will jump back and forth. You know, different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
And you have such a wide variety of stuff
Right,
to
yeah,
paint
right.
that, you know.
for sure. I think that's what I need to learn from because I when I fell in love with those speed paints when I really first started getting into painting, I painted all my great swordsmen and all my spearmen, and I was like so hyped on how they looked. And I'm looking back at them now, and I'm like, they're not the best.
Yeah, no, looking at some of my beastmen
Always.
now, I'm like, I fucking hate these.
That's how it
I
is.
want to burn them.
No, but you just got to keep moving
I would
forward.
say I learned from that the burnout of painting 12 great swordsmen at the same time.
Yeah.
And being like, this is not how I should do this. This is not good for my brain. I hate this right now.
Yeah.
No, you should never paint like that.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I fell into the YouTube trap of all these guys saying
Yep.
you could totally paint an army in 24 hours
Yes.
if you just kill yourself on this one unit per hour.
I've
cool.
found like from looking at how other people do like specifically like old hammer armies but the old hammer army where each guy is super customized and
Yeah.
looks
Right,
very
right,
cool and it's
right.
like okay, I loved each guy that I did
Yep,
because
yep.
I spent the time making him look that cool. Like that probably goes so much further when you're painting a whole army rather than
Right.
I just assembled 20 great swords that they're cool but I didn't really care about them that much when I was building them.
On the opposite side of that, though, I'm looking at my orc army, and I have literally all of my dream models for the orc army.
Yeah.
Shout out Greg Wier for donating just some of the most insane orc models that didn't even know existed. Also, shout out Pixel Keeper Kev for finding my favorite model in that army. The Warhammer
Warhammer Online.
Yeah, the Age
shit,
of
yeah,
Reckoning,
yeah.
the special edition MMO mini that came with it. You could only get it from that.
Was it Gall's bag or something like that?
Gall's back.
It's literally like Gorebag and gallbladder or whatever.
Yeah.
Is when it's an orc and a goblin together?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's the most comically like 90s comic style
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
black
I know
orc,
what you're
just
talking about.
loaded armor on armor on armor. He just looks so silly, and then there's just this pissed off little fucking goblin on his shoulder. Yeah, I'm like, this is the coolest model ever. So I really want to paint that whole army up, but in a style that I could just 2 seconds go.
Yeah.
I don't have to put as much time as I want to in my Cities at Sigmar
In your
army.
cities army, yeah.
So that's like also like side goal, but like I said, I don't want to burn myself out on either. So
yes, and you will. I feel like you will if you try and think about the end right now.
exactly.
Now, is it obtainable? Do you think you could paint one mini in a week for
Yes,
cities?
for sure.
Then you should just paint one mini in a week, and you should once you're done put like a little, put a check mark in a grid.
That
you
was
know?
my original goal, was to get 1 mini a week
Yeah,
done.
I will say I definitely could do that. I didn't have so many of the I don't want to say techniques, but like the ways of processing how crazy my brain works through things.
Yeah.
Literally until we started doing the podcast, and then like you actually explaining you should just do this or like do this for 20 minutes or Pomodoro, anything like that. And then me realizing, oh yeah, actually we're practice what you preach at this point. Like I could just paint a mini a week. I just have to literally sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Not, oh, I'm going to go work on my garage, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going
No,
to fix
or I'm
my
gonna
car,
sit down and play
or
a
I'm gonna
game,
sit down and
or
play
I'm
a
gonna do
game.
something, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go cook, or I'm going to go do all of these things at the exact same time.
rather than just sit at your desk and
Yes,
do it.
yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, Pomodoro changed your fucking life. Spend
Yeah.
25 minutes a day doing something that you want to accomplish in a month, 2 months, a year. You'll have that shit.
The irony of ADHD for me is remembering to Pomodoro.
Yeah.
You have to literally write it on a whiteboard
Yes.
and have it front and center.
Yes, and for me, it is like going into a padded cell of a room to finish what I'm doing.
This is my shit every fucking day. I wrote the
Yeah.
notes about Ben on the back, but this is an old one from two days ago. And this is, I write a fucking to-do list every single day.
Yeah.
And we talk about this shit.
I do the
but-
same thing now. I do it on my phone. I do a to-do today, but it's
Yeah.
for the next day. And I make
Yeah.
a bullet point list, and I can check the little bullet every time I do it. And I do small things like do the dishes, do like
Yeah.
little mundane tasks around the house that I
do
know
that on
I have
Notes
to
app.
do.
Yeah.
But it's like literally, that's like going back to your question of my response. That's probably my main goal, is to have the discipline to do these things in a process, like a manner that I can actually process.
Yes.
So that's my main goal.
Yeah.
It's a good goal.
And to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Every time you guys say it's my main goal, I'm like, all right, well, let's just say it again.
I was really hoping that was going to be the fade out of you barking.
Well, maybe we'll just we'll copy and paste it on the end there.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I think that you're good. Just little bits, chip it away. It
What about you,
will
Terry?
happen.
Are you the last one?
Yeah, I wrote them down. I'm the last one.
He's the last one. This is the last time we'll ever
So-
hear his voice either.
I enjoy painting. I paint a fair bit. I kind of never stop fucking painting these goddamn minis. My goal is more to like learn how to fucking play the game.
Yeah.
Which is where I am like I am the least competent war gamer as far as rules and strategy and all of that shit goes. So I'm happy that I could be a painter because I don't know how to do anything else.
I wouldn't down credit you on that. I think you're beating yourself up a little bit,
well, I mean,
but
yeah,
I think
but-
it's still a great goal for
yeah.
you.
So one thing is, I want to create army lists for because it's like I have more than 2,000 points of orcs painted.
Right.
I have no idea what the list is.
40K orcs.
40K orcs.
Yeah.
Because I've just been painting them. I
Right.
pick up orc, paint orc, put orc down.
That has got to be like 1% of people in the hobby, by the way.
Maybe, but like that's it. I find orc, paint orc, put orc down,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've done that. I don't know, fuck 1,000
That's the
times.
episode title right there.
Yeah.
Grab orc, paint orc, put down orc.
So they're not in a list. They're not like there's not a unit of 10 of
Yeah.
like there's just hundreds of
Episode.
orcs
Right,
everywhere. And so I need to like find like, okay, how many shooter boys do I have? Like, let me put all of those shooter boys in a list and see how many points they are, and then be like, there's my unit of shooter boys. I have them. Here's my Slugga Choppa guys. Here's my Gretchen. Here's my whatever.
Keep a catalog of what you got.
Yeah, because right now it's probably like I have 58 grots. You know what I mean? It's just some random number because I keep picking them up and finding them and painting
The
them and putting
classic
them down.
meta of 58 grunts.
Well, yeah. I've always they're good objective
that used
keepers.
to be a meta.
Yeah.
58.
Not
58.
58. But a lot of grots.
Yeah.
And so-
57, no one could run that.
I want to do the same for AOS too. I mostly have it figured out as far as like zombies go.
grab zombie, paint zombie, put zombie down.
But that's been
Need
my thing.
Some more auxiliaries to go with the zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe a couple corpse cards here or there. But then coming up with a list where it's like, okay, I know I have all of these models. Now, what is a list that I can put together with painted models? Because I'm sure that I have over 2,000 points of painted undead, or it's right around there.
Or do
So
you
let
have
me...
to add to it, like build something to paint to make the list meta?
And that's what I want to do is like, okay, what's my list missing? And like know how I build that list out and know how to like get that all set. And the same thing, honestly, with Lord of the Rings. And going back to what you were saying,
Wait, with what?
the Games Workshop Lord of the Rings Middle Earth strategy battle game.
Battle Company.
Not
no,
necessarily
no.
battle companies, though. I have the battle companies kind of figured out, but I want to then translate that to a Lord of the Rings army, quote unquote. But really, I just want it to be like humans from a part of Rohan that can also just be ported to play 40.
Yeah.
Not 40K. Maybe 40K.
hey,
Listen,
listen.
it'd be cool. But to
Feudal
play
world, yeah.
Age of Sigmar, that's just like, oh, okay, these guys also can play here. And they're just like, they have green as part of their, clothes. And it makes sense. I'm using Perry minis. And
Do you
I can
wear
just-
green? You're hired.
Yeah. And I can just be like, okay, these guys can also be cities in Age of Sigmar or something like that. So just like you were saying, creating like just Lizardmen to play all of these games with, I want to keep painting Lord of the Rings stuff so I can keep playing it in many other games. Which then ties into I want to create a bashed Lord of the Rings army, which I kind of just said. I want to use Perry minis to make these things. I want to create easy rule references. So the first goal I had is to create the army lists and figure that whole thing out. The second thing is to create easy rule references. I get really lost in the books, and that's what I mostly shut down when I'm just like, I don't know what page the rules are for this.
Yeah.
Where are the spells list? Oh, I got to go find it. Like, I didn't know I needed that. But to have those things all printed
Get
out
you some of
and
those
have
cards.
Listen, the cards you made
Yes.
are fucking awesome.
And that's why I made them, because I was like, I need all the rules right here. Just print it off of the computer, and I made them look really cool.
Yeah.
And if you want to see those cards, you can take a look at our Patreon at patreon.com/Hivescum, where we post some hobby hacks as well as an extra half hour for each episode that we do. But the hobby hacks are things like these cards that I made for Age of Sigmar that have my units on them, how I made them, et cetera, et cetera. But having those, but also for like spells list,
Right.
battle traits, whatever the hell else I need. And then having that quick reference guide that has everything on it, so that way I can roll up, be ready to play a game, and then not have Phil be like, so what is your blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, I don't know. Where is that in the book? I didn't even think that was a thing. Like, come on. I want to know all that.
Right,
Which
right.
just comes along with learning the game. Like I said, my main goal is to...
Blow up and act like you don't know nobody.
When does Age of Sigmar 4 come out?
This summer more.
No, fuck me. No, no. Damn it. No. To go along with that, I'd like to play one game a month. I think that's obtainable.
That's fair.
Even with a child on the way,
Yeah.
I think even if I have to miss a couple of months, I can make it up at some point, but I would love to play.
The marathon.
Sorry, Sarah. I can't leave the house. I have to play 7 games today.
But I think if I get myself all set as far as rules and references and get everything done, then I can roll up here and play a game without it being like a slog.
Yes, and I think that is super obtainable as well, given that we have... It's not like we have to go to a shop and be like, can we have this table for the day? Or
Yeah.
whatever. You literally roll up, the table will be made. Phil's been coming in the day before. Anytime
Terry
there's
Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Terry Fest 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody's listening to this being like, dude, I play games constantly. Like, what are you talking about? But I can't. My brain sometimes, like, it is too much going on as far as games go that I just, like, am like, it does not compute sometimes. And I would love to get a way to play these games. Because through Games Workshop's Lord of the Rings Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game Battle Company, I have developed lore from the games, and I'm like, this is a thing I'm missing in my army lists, is I can't develop the lore that
Right.
I'm getting to develop through playing games.
Yeah,
I'm just making it up and then making it, but it's much more fun when it happens organically.
right. I have a couple of those from Age of Sigmar where they're all started because of our games.
Yeah.
Like, I have a hatred against Phil's guy who
Yeah. See?
my leader thought he killed a guy, but I haven't gotten to play Phil again.
Yes.
Or like your necromancer that got away. They hate each other, but they never played again.
and now they're going to fight again, and it's going to be great.
Whatever.
And the last and final goal is to expand on 40K. Going back to Brothers of Prometheum, playing more Inc. 28 stuff. Like, I want to sink into that world of Vestarium. Vestarian. Like, sink into those kind of worlds. Creating little, like, you know, these Inquisitor cults. creating these small war bands that I can use, and then learning how to play those games.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think someone on Discord at one point pointed out that we're called Hive Scum, but we pretty much mostly just do fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think branching out into more sci-fi stuff is,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
something as a group that we.
I mean, that's also the
I think
in-joke,
Necromunda's
too.
sick.
We haven't played Necromunda.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I have.
No, I'm saying, like, us.
Oh,
Yeah.
collectively.
Yeah. We have not played
No.
Necromunda.
And I would love to play that. Honestly, I would be fine, just like we had talked about, though, using like 40K rules and just having small little skirmish groups
Yeah.
using the 40K rules for whatever. You know, taking and slotting in, like building an Inquisitor team, and it's like this guy is a psyker or whatever. So just like finding psyker rules
Right.
from some army and being like, "Brr, that's your rules.
Yeah.
There's your data card.
You're the guy now.
And then just playing with those rules. I don't know.
I think that's also very obtainable.
Yes.
yeah. Got to
see.
keep our heads to the ground
Yeah.
Get to work.
Yeah. Our minds on the
and
goal.
don't get sidelined.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you
We-
put your head on the ground standing up?
Yes. It's called a headstand.
No,
are you
we
talking
have
about like
to
if you're really
standing.
flexible?
No, I mean like you guys. Like, can you
No,
put your head on the
absolutely
ground
not.
while standing?
Oh, I'm
My head to the
standing?
ground while standing. If I was to stretch a little bit,
Flat-footed, can you put your head on the ground?
No.
No, probably not.
You would need really
No.
short legs to do that.
Yeah.
No, I mean not like.
Can you
standing
do it right
vertically. Let's all try.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
oh
right.
my God. Okay.
This is an excerpt from Ramshackle Games' Bogland. Parasitic worms. Due to the Boglander's penchant for ritualized cannibalism, unsurprisingly, parasites thrive in Boglander communities. The most renowned of these is the Greater Bogland sunworm. Once its eggs hatch in a human, or human-like digestive tract, the worm will burrow through to the epidermis. They protrude from the flesh, wriggling and writhing. Most commonly, the worms will infest the armpits and slowly eat away at the member. Due to this, many Boglanders are missing one or both upper limbs. Boglander life is short, and suffering is an accepted part of life. The armless are not particularly shunned by their fellows and live as full and rich a life as the other Boglanders, which is to say, meager and pitiful. The worms exude a natural anesthetic, and while it can be inconvenient to lose an appendage, it's not truly painful. Sometimes the infestation continues long enough and the entire body is infected. These worm people are shown a great degree of respect and affection. They often play pivotal community roles, such as the piescape, or as a guide or counselor, although their wisdom is often given in a cryptic way or can seem madness. As the Boglander becomes more worm-like, they will act more like a worm, and love to burrow in the bog and shun fire and speak less. As they degenerate, the worm-infested become more holy in the eyes of the Boglanders and are seen as prophets who lead by action.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Hive Scum. If you aren't already part of the community, check us out at the In Rust We Trust Discord, which you can find down in the description below. If you have questions you'd like to ask us, you can find our Instagrams down below as well. Or feel free to ask away on the Discord. We also have plenty of extra content and other perks available to our patrons on Patreon. So if you're interested in helping us keep doing what we're doing, then you can find that description below as well. Until next time, folks, keep it grimdark and keep it grimy. Peace.